So Tony is still in the hospital from the brain rot that is this game, so I took the liberty to edit this video myself, but not like there's much to edit in the first place, considering the entirety of this interactive software is one giant shitpost. Bueno, la gente spoke out, and now I must go with the bit. These are tacos de... Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. I opened a portal to hell in the favela trying to revive riiiiight. I need to close it. I'm not even gonna change much of what I said on my YouTube short post. Brazilian Drug Dealer 3, I opened a portal to hell in the favela trying to revive riiiiight, I need to close it, is proof that AI cannot replicate the fever dream that is Latin America meme culture. In this case, Brazil. I mean, for fuck's sake, La Chancla's a weapon, like that should tell you enough of what you'll be diving into if the title itself doesn't do it enough justice. On the surface level, one might think this is just one giant shitpost, and that's exactly what this is. I mean, there is no other way to describe this. I played this game thinking that the 3 in the title was for the gits and shiggles, but that's not the case. There are other installments that I briefly spoke about in my shorts video. As I stated, in Portuguese this is actually called Aviãozinho do Tráfico, which translates to drug trafficking plane, but for the sake of cheeseburgers, oil, manifest destiny, and ignoring the metric system, it will be called Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. There's not much to talk about other than the fact that what I witnessed was, or more so what my editor Tony witnessed, must have been what a caveman thought was something devouring the sun during a full eclipse. I mean, where on the Aztec calendar do they mention this? I know it stopped after 2012, but even then there must be a scroll or a cave painting detailing el pendejismo that's to come from the mind of Joveno. Either way, how does this game play? The tortilla holding it all together, so to speak. Well, let's talk about it, shall we? So if you're familiar with games like Doom and Quake, then this game should be no different. You run and gun through Brazil and hell itself, picking up all sorts of wacky weapons as you go about the 27 levels of this overstimulated eyesore. The stages are short and condensed enough that you can beat the whole thing in about 2 hours. Do you know what else you can do in 2 hours? Touch grass, go hiking, spend time con la familia, pay your bills, learn a new skill that you could share with somebody. Wait. Learn a new skill that you could share with somebody. This video is brought to you by Skillshare. And I'm kidding, I'm not famous enough for that. And even if I was, I don't think they'd want to be associated with whatever this is. Is Skillshare even relevant? Anyways, the game actually runs pretty well, no crashes, which is impressive, so at the very least it won't break on you. Well, not technically. Some areas feel broken metaphorically speaking, but that's more of a design choice. Speaking of design choices, the level design is not bad, honestly. Like, I wasn't expecting John Romero or Richard Bailey Gray levels of design within this game, but for what they're worth, they don't feel the same, and some are actually kind of fun to run through. There is a cavalcade of goofy-out weapons like this gun thingy, golden akimbo shotguns, hey we got K rounds, Glocks with 30s, run up on me, I'ma do you dirty. There's the golden rocket launcher that shoots bouncing rockets, an actual rocket launcher, paper airplane money that has electricity for some reason, the Disney Jafar staff, trademark, a payphone with the booth and all that shoots explosive coins, question mark, guarana, a Brazilian beverage that shoots small Brazilian flags, a machine gun that does the same thing, a cocoa nut launcher, and of course, La Chancla. So who's the adversary? Like, who are we fighting? Well, you got Brasileños, Demonios, people on the Epstein files, Roblox, Hellhounds, these guys, Narcos, La Criatura, birds from the Amazon, Amazonians, this thing, that thing, and anti-piracy. By the way, a lot of these enemies are based on Brazilian meme culture, but more on that later. As far as mechanics go, I mean, you run, you shoot, you pick up power-ups, health, armor, and ammo, that's it. At its core, it's still Quake. I mean, health comes in the form of pastel and sugarcane juice, ammo's just ammo. The only real power-ups I found were the Ankh that gives you 666 armor, cause get it, hell, and a hammer that does quadruple damage, so don't come here expecting Final Fantasy levels of depth. But at the end of the day, the game is just a Quake reskin with zero interest in reinventing the wheel, which is fine by me, by the way. Alright, so what do I dislike about all of this? I mean, it's janky, but at the same time, I feel like this is a bit of a cop-out for critiquing the game, because the whole point is that it is jank. There were times where I thought the game pulled some BS on me, pero otra vez plebes, I think the game is meant to be like that. There's co-op, but I wasn't able to convince anybody in the friend group to play this with me, so I'll just assume it works. One annoyance I did have though was finding ammo for the guarana drink, and the assault rifle was hard to come by, which I guess makes sense seeing that they're the strongest weapons in the game, but they're also the same weapon too, and one is just a reskin of the other, so if you ask me, yeah, I went there. I prefer the guarana. Anyways, the tortilla rating gets a 3 out of 5, or a microwave zero carb tortilla. I honestly don't know what else to add to this, so let's just move on. Now, time to talk about La Carne, the story. What do we have going on? Well, if it wasn't obvious by the title, you play a series protagonist John Brazil, drug dealer 3. I open a portal to hell in the favela trying to revive Meet Aya. I need to close it. Yes, that is his full legal name. Anything stated otherwise is lies and slander. Échensela por el culo, vato manoku. And what does John do? He opens a portal to hell in the favela trying to revive Meet Aya, and he has to close it. That's literally the premise. Okay guys, so I did some actual research. Investigué legitamente, y pues... yeah, this game has lore. Strap in, banda, because this plot makes Bloodborne look like a bedtime story. First things first is I found out the character we play as is named Da Silva, but since we live in... land, he is now John Brazil because it sounds funnier. Anyway, our story starts out in the land of Brasilia. Jesus wants a hug! A football match between Flamengo, based on the real club Flamengo, and Vasque, inspired by Vasco da Gama, was going on. Well, Vasque is losing, and while that's happening, John Brazil decides it's a perfect time to revive Brazilian pop singer Meet Aya, who's just 70s Brazilian pop singer Tim Maya, rearranged cause copyright, and the summoning goes wrong because Flamengo's biggest hater, Vasque Demon, sees the portal to hell in the favela opened by John, and so he decides this is a perfect opportunity to possess Flamengo fans to frame them for the apocalypse. He even makes the demons wear Flamengo jerseys just to ruin their reputation. Oh, and the Vasque Demon is involved in sports betting and constantly bets on Vasque to win, which they don't porque son basura, so I'm interpreting the basis of the plot point as a social commentary on how Vasco kinda sucks. Bueno, John Brazil da Silva embarks on a journey meeting wacky characters based on Latin American culture icons like El Chavo del Ocho and some Brazilian TV personalities. Oh yeah, and who could forget about Ronaldo McDalist, who is happy about the invasion because now he can expand his McDalist franchise throughout Brazil, eliminating all competition. He teams up with you, but then sabotages you because plot twist, you come to find out that Vasque Demon is actually a huge investor of McDalist. Also, I don't know if this is a coincidence or not, but Brazil at one point had a rapper named MC Daleste. Not sure if there's any correlation. Wait! Pero taquero, where is the spoiler alert? Banda, no le hagan de pedo, you fools were not gonna look into this. Where was I? Oh yeah, you end up in the Amazon rainforest, then in hell, where you're confronted with Cthulhu himself, so with the power of your inner Hispanic, mandas a ese wey pa la chingada con unos chanclazos. Anyways, you come back to Earth, you go through a supermarket with like the gravity hella high because Ronaldo McDallis is a hater like that, then you end up in the creator's house except it's huge. Then with the aliens that you came with, yes, because there's aliens, you crash land back to Earth and do some Earth stuff, but now you must take the fight back to Rio de Janeiro, right where the statue of Christ the Redeemer is at. You turn into a giant and fight Meet Aya's nephew Edinho, who is now in a spider body, and there's 6 of him, so you have to find the right one. Edino, who is now unpossessed, guides you to a portal to save Meet Aya. All you gotta do is walk to it. Just like that. But if you want to take the detour, then you end up in the back rooms, because of course this game has that. Anywho, in the next level, you end up at a Mamadas concert.
Guys, are you ever just chilling and then...
What the fuck is going on with my life?
Mamadas in Spanish means bullshit, by the way. And then fight like 295 demons. Who is Mamadas? I don't know, some band that apparently John wanted to revive too, but whatever, here we are. After that, he ends up at a carnival, which you go through, so you end up in a metro to get to a museum to try to get to a working portal to hell with the help of Maki Jaki. Yes, Miracle Johnson himself is in this game because John summoned him too. Then you fight the Vasque Demon by jumping on these 3 buttons that have the Flamenco crest on them. You do this 3 times, you finally free Meet Aya, and the final battle happens at a coliseum in heaven where you meet Joe Veno. And that's the story. You cannot say this is not cinema. Alrighty, so what critiques do I have here? I mean, if you go into this blind as someone who's not familiar with Brazilian or Latin American meme culture, then it might throw you off. Plus, there is an over-reliance on brain rot, which is, I mean, I don't know, fine, depends on who you ask. Y pues? Yeah, that's all I have for this segment. O sea, ¿qué chingados puedo decir? I mean, by all means, what I described was basically another Tuesday for a Brazilian civilian and a typical Wednesday for some conked out tweaker living in Oakland. Like, it is clear as day that the story is not the focus, and that's okay. But I am and I use this word very lightly, journalist. So for some, the story is a true work of art. For others, it will take away whatever brain cells you have left. And for someone like me, this is just whatever my viewers wanted. And I always give back to mi bandita. In other words, can't say I don't love you guys. Now, let me make this clear. I likes y'alls, and I wants y'alls. Yeah, so the me rating gets a 2 out of 5, which is dried up ground beef. Now, onto the toppings of this game. En otras palabras, the little things like the artwork, sound design, attention to detail, and side content in a game similar to things like the onions, cilantro, and that squeeze of limon in a taco. Well, as far as the art direction goes, I mean, it's subjective. I like it. The weapon models are cool, the UI is funny, and I like how the little face changes depending on the amount of health you have or whatever upgrades you got going on. Now, earlier in this review, I mentioned that the enemies we fight are based on Brazilian memes, so here's what I dug through. These yellow and red guys are called Fofin, and they're based on a TV show called Carreta Furacão, hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, where these dudes dress up as cartoon characters and dance all over the streets of Brazil. These bird-looking things are called Lurojosias, or Josias parrot, and it's based on a parrot from a TV show named Mais Você. The resemblance is uncanny. This one's gonna be fun to explain. Serie B Ghost are these floating jersey things with swords that are based on the second-tier football league called Serie BKT. And the jersey themselves are the Vasco da Gama team jersey. The joke here is that Vasco is hard stuck in a tier 2 league like Serie B, hence that's why it's on their outfit. Arre. The Brick Ogre is just a Roblox character from another Quake mod. And yeah, I mean, there's more, but the point that I'm trying to make here is that these aren't just random enemies. Plus, there's a glossary on them if you guys are curious to know more about them. Speaking of, the glossary also talks about the lore, characters, and weapons. However, not all of it is translated in English, so just throwing that out there. Once more, I really need to reiterate this, but unless you understand Brazilian meme culture, some of this stuff might fly over your head, but I mean, despite it all, I think we can all collectively agree that a shitpost is still a shitpost. Okay, so the sound design here is basically just memes, but they've been bass boosted. But on a more serious note, if you are neurodivergent, I recommend turning it down a lot, cause Dios mío está muy ruidoso. Yeah, it is loud. Almost to the point of finding it really fucking annoying, but somehow I still played it without turning down the audio option, so what does that say about me? If you're looking for attention to detail, pues banda, I mean, there's JPEGs on the wall of Meet Aya because lore-wise, when the portal to hell was open, the pictures were spread everywhere. The game itself has a lot of JPEGs in general of stuff where stuff should be. I mean, the doors or entrances as well as the walls to other places literally say come here, but in Portuguese. But hey, I mean, when your budget is a half-drunken guarana that's been left out in the sun for 2 days in a poorly photoshopped nude Polaroid of Renata Sorra, you know, the meme lady with all the math equations, yeah, I can't say I blame the guy. The only side content that this game offers is secrets and levels that offer health, ammo, armor, or weapons that you won't get till later levels, which, hey, eso es ben bom! As well as a horde mode with 3 levels. Peak. Okay, ja, so they updated the game. There's more levels now. But other than that, don't expect a heap of replayability. So the toppings rating for this gets a 2.5 out of 5, which is, you know, crunched up lettuce and smashed tomatoes. Ahora, time to talk about La Salsa, the OST, which can heat things up if done right. And well, I mean, some songs were good. Here are 3 that I found likable enough for me to put into this section, but that's really about it. Anyways, the rest is, well, it's music, if you can call it that. Pero miren bandita, I'm keeping this one short because much like all the other stuff, there isn't much to talk about other than the fact that it's loud, and if you don't get Brazilian meme culture, I know I sound like a broken record saying this, but it will fly over your head, but for the stuff that is good, it does correctly. Even if in my humble opinion, it's like less than a handful of songs. Anyways, the rating for this gets a salsa packet safe from fast food places, or a 2.5 out of 5. Okay, we got all the ingredients. What would this mess look like as a taco? Let me show you.
DJ, hipeiro, é o brabo da putaria.
Hijo de puta, me quemé los pinches dedos.
Safada cachorra, melhor.
Hey, it's me. So I made the tacos and whatnot, and then I just realized, damn it, I forgot to get the fucking Taco Bell sauce packets, right? Well, I looked back at my video, and I specifically said sauce packets saved from other restaurants or what may have you. Never did I stated that it had to be Taco Bell, although I can understand that being the assumption. That being said, the replacement will be Panda Express chili sauce, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. Okay, cool. So now we're just gonna pour the Panda Express chili sauce on the tacos. Pues banda, aquí están. Tacos de Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. I opened a portal to hell in the favela trying to revive meat. I need to close it. So, how do they taste? Let's find out. Here we go. It's, fuck, I don't know what to say. It's annoying to chew. Fucking zero carb tortillas, like, may as well be chewing on, like, wet cardboard. Really. You know what? Let me try this guy right here. We got hella things going on, just like the game. We got to, you know what? That's the thing. There's too much going on here. And not in a good way. But it's also like, you can't stop looking at it. That's exactly what this is. Look, see, even the way I'm picking this bitch up, like, oh my, and it falls apart. Like, that's Brazilian Drug Dealer 3. I opened a portal to hell in the favela trying to revive me. I need to close it, ladies and gentlemen, damas y caballeros. Like, this is a perfect representation of the goddamn game. Fuck it, we ball. Yeah, dude. Anyways, I don't know. Cut to the outro, I guess. Yule banda, quick update on the channel, life, and all that good stuff. So first things first is that despite me being harsh on the game, I still liked it, okay? Yeah, I talked some shit, but I understood what it was going for and the kind of experience it wanted to be. I mean, I have about 9 hours clocked into this thing, so I had a good time. So take most of what I said in this review with a grain of salt. A little sazon, if you will, you know? Plus, Joe Veno, the creator's a silly little guy making a silly little game, so I get the vision. And he's currently making Brazilian Drug Dealer Before 4, Demons from the Portal to Hell I opened are still in the favela. Now I have to save mamadas from Ronaldo. Yeah. Anyways, I look forward to it. Also, some of you, not really, might be wondering why I don't upload as much. Simple. Life happens, and that's been happening a lot lately, but most important is that YouTube is not my job. This channel is a hobby, and I plan to treat it like one. That said, I do want to upload more shorts because I've got way too many Steam games that are worth talking about. But in the meantime, what do I have in the works? Well, a review for Mouse PI for Hire. Miren, I got the gameplay in the background and everything, fool, pero like, don't expect it anytime soon, okay? Also, I've got another showcase video going, mainly because it gives me an excuse to play games that are similar in genre, plus I get to put you fools onto something good. Or mediocre, or bad, I don't know. I mean, I just want to play games. If you would like to support the channel, honestly, just liking, subscribing, and sharing is plenty enough, dude. Like, no worries. Oh, yeah, I also have an Instagram where I post my YouTube shorts. Quality there, for some reason, is not the best, so I'm trying to figure that out. I got a Reddit too, but I hardly use that. I feel like I should use it a bit more. I don't have X, formerly known as Twitter, and that's because I want to preserve my sanity, so as of right now, I do not have an X account. I know in my previous videos I put an X account, but like, not anymore. Any made on my name are fake. Catch me on the gram and Reddit as far as socials go. That being said, muchísimas gracias por ver mi video. Till then, pa la próxima.